How are you? I hope students you are fine, and I hope you are enjoying good health at your home and you are following all the SOPs. So let's see what I have for you today. I am going to teach you today about maths. What I am going to teach you? I am going to teach you maths. It's a second lecture for second term and the class is nursery. So our unit number is 8. Today we are going to learn unit number 8 and the topic of the unit is taking away. Taking away means like if we have 5 things and we get one out of it, how many will remain there? We will be having 4. So let's see. This is your book, right, for nursery class. This is your maths book. Open your book at page number 30. Open your book at page number 30. So we are going to learn today taking away. So let's see. For example, we have over here 4 buttons, right? As you can see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 buttons which I have pasted on the whiteboard. So let's see कि हम इसको क्या करेंगे. ठीक है? You can see these are very colorful yellow buttons. So what we are going to do is we are going to put a hand on the 1, right? If we count like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So if we count from 1 to this, so these are 4 in numbers. So what I am gonna do is I am gonna put my hand on one button, and that means I am taking away 1 from 4. So what happens is if we take away 1, if we cross the 1, how many will left behind? 1, 2, 3. So if you count, अगर हम 4 में से एक जो है उसको छुपा लें या उसको निकाल दें, तो what happens बच्चे? It happens like if we count again, so we will be having 1, 2 and 3. So there will be 3 buttons left for us. So this is how we are going to take away things. So if it's a 4 and we take away 1, so we will be left with 3. Right? Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. If we cross on one button, how many will left? There will be 3. So that means these buttons will be fewer in number. Okay? If we take away 1, these buttons will be fewer in numbers. That means कि अगर इनमें से हम एक निकाल लेंगे तो पीछे 3 बचेंगे, right? And 3 से क्या होगा कि हमारे पास इनकी तादाद जो होगी वो क्या हो जाएगी? कम हो जाएगी. So we move on to the next. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 tops, right? We have 5 tops, and if we take away 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we take away 1, तो हमारे पास क्या होगा? We will be left with, if I hide this one top with my hands, now you count from this side, so how many will remain? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you will be having 4 tops, right? So there will be 4 answers. So if we take 1 out of 4, we will be having 3, but my dear students, if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pink color tops and we take away 1, so how many will remain? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we will be having 4. That is fewer in number. That means if we take away 1 out of 5, तो हमारे पास कितने रह जाएंगे? We will be having 4, right? Do you understand that? Okay, so move towards another one. We have 1, 2, 3. 3. We have 3 cones, 3 ice cream cones over here. So if we take away one, how much will remain? If we take away 1, so 1, 2, 3. अगर इसके ऊपर हम क्रॉस लगा दें और we hide it like this with my hand, so how many will remain? 1 and 2. First क्या था? 1, 2, 3. Now we are taking away 1 and I'm hiding it with my hand so that you have a clear idea. Now you count it again. So क्या होगा हमारे पास? 1 and 2. We will be remain with 2. So these are pure in number. So let's suppose that we have one cornetto over here, like one cone ice cream over here, and if we take away 1, it's a 1, and if we take away 1, like इसके ऊपर हम क्रॉस लगा रहे हैं, if we hide this 1, so how much will we have? We will be having 0, right? We will be having 0. So it's a 1, it's one cornetto, and if we hide this 1, like if we take away 1 and if we give our cornetto to somebody else, how much we will have then? We will be having 0. We will be left with no cornetto, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 4 buttons, very colorful buttons, right? And if we take away 1, so how much we will be having? We will have a 3. If we take away 1 and count it again, so 1, 2, 3. So we will remain with 3. We have 5 top over here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So if we take away 1, we hide it with our hand. So count it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we will be having 4. And if we have a 3 cornettos over here, 1, 2, 3. We have 3 cornettos and we take away 1. So how much will left behind? 1 and 2. So we will be leaving with 2 cornettos. So this is the idea about taking away 1. So if you look on your page number page number 30, taking away. So there is now one. For example, you have 4 candies, right? And we take away 1, and you give your 1 candy to your friend. So how much would you have with you? So you will be having 3 candies with you. So same is the case. So अगर हम इसको क्या करें? We have a 3 candies over here. So if we take 1, so we will be having 2. There are 5 elements over here. If we take away 1, so how much will we be having? We will be having 4. It's the same thing. So if we have a 3, like we will take away 1, so we will be having 2. And if we have a like this one, 4. Sorry, if like this we have 2 and take away 1, so we will be having 1. And if we have 1 and we take away 1, तो हमारे पास क्या आ जाएगा? 0. Like this we have a 1 quantity over here and we have taken 1, so we will be left with no quantity. And there is one more, and if we have a 4 and we take away 1, then we will be having 3 buttons. So same is the case. If we take away, like for example, you have 5 rupees with you in your hand and you give your 2 rupees to your friend. So how much you are left with? You are left with 3, right? अगर आप 2 अपने दोस्त को दे देंगे तो 3 आपके पास बचेंगे. But if you give 3 rupees to your friend, you will be left with 2 rupees. So this is how it goes. Like अगर आपके पास जो है वो 4 कैंडीज हैं and you give 1 to your friend, 1 to your sibling, how much you left with? You will be left with 3. So same is the case. Now we have talked about if we take away 1. Now we are going to move forward. We are going to take away 2, right? अभी हमने क्या बात की थी? हमने बात की my dear students about taking away 1, like 1, only 1. We take away 1 from anything. So how much we left with? 3, That means we will be having no candies, no cornetto. So if you move on the other side, we have the very colorful 5 flowers over here, right? So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5 है हमारे पास, and if we take away 2, अगर इसमें से हम 2 को जो है वो निकाल दें तो हमारे पास क्या आएगा? We will be left with 3, right? So if we cover these 2 flowers with my hands, so how much we left with? 1, 2 and 3. So if we take 2, then how much left? We will be left with 3. So these are 4 very beautiful blue skirts. So if you take away 2, how much you left? You will be left with how much? You will be left with 2. So if you take away 2 out of 4, you will be left with 2. Same is the case for the footballs. We have a very beautiful basketball over here pasted. So if we take away 2 out of 3, so how much we left? We will be left with 1, right? And there are 2 tops, and if we take away 2, how much we will be left with? 0. So basically we have 5 flowers. Take away 2, so we will be left with 3. These are 4 skirts. Take away 2, so we will be left with 2. 3 basketballs. Take away 2, we will be left with 1. We have 2 tops. Take away 2. This is how it goes. Like we have 5 flowers, right? We have 5 flowers. We take away 2. How much we will be left with? 1, 2 and 3. We will be left with 3 flowers. So we have 4 skirts over here, and if we take away 2 skirts, then what would happen? We will be left with 2. So there will be a 2. That means these quantity will be lower down. So we have 3 basketball, and if you give this 2 basketball to your friend, how much you will be left with? You will be left with 1, right? And we have 2 tops, and if you give your 2 tops to your friend, so how much you will be left with? You will be left with 0. That means अगर आपके पास 5 चीजें हैं, उसमें से 2 आप अपने दोस्त को दे देते हैं, 2 फूल अपने दोस्त को, तो आपके पास क्या होगा? 3. अगर आपके पास 4 जो है वो है, तो if you give 2 to your friend, then you will be having 2. If you have 3 basketballs by the students, and you give 2 to the other student, then what would happen is like you will be left with 1. And if you have 2 tops and you take away 2, you give those 2 to your friend, you will be left with 0. Same as it is if you are eating a cornetto and your friend asks, and you give your cornetto to your friend, what would you left with? You will be having 0, right? So this is how it goes. It's on your page number 31. Page number 31. Cross out 2 classes in each row. So if we have 5 classes, and if we take away 2, then we will be left with 3 classes. And if we have 3 classes and we take away 2, then we will be left with 1. And if we have three classes, and if we take away, we have to cross 2. If we take away 2, then we will be 3. Take away 2. How much we left with? 1. And if we have a 4, if we have a 4 boxes, you cross 2, 4, and you take away 2. How much we left with? You will be left with 2. If you have a 2 glasses, you cross on those 2, 2, take away 2 is equal 0. And if you have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have 5, take away 2. That means we are going to have 3. So this is how it goes. That is your page number 31. Now moving on your next. If we have a 3 classes and we take away 2, then how much we will be left with? We will be left with 1. We have a 4 classes, and if we take away 2, my dear students, we will be left with 2. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. We take away 2, then how much will be left? You will be left with 1 and 2. So there are 2 classes, and if we take away 2, how much you will be left with? You will be left with 0. And if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if we take away 2, like you put a cross on 2 classes, how much you will be left with? 1, 2, 3. So you will be left with 3 classes. Put a counter on page number 32, put a counter on the snake, take away 1 and write the numbers. So we have 5, we have over here 4, we have over here 3, we have over 2, we have over here 1. So and we put a counter on it, so if we take away, we have a 5, we have 5 in counters, and we take away 1, right? How much we will be left with? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we have a 5 and we take away 1, how much will we be left with? 1, 2, 3, 4. We will be left with 4. Now we have a 4 counter. So if we have a 4, and if we have a 4 and we take away 1, so how much we will be left with? 1, 2, 3. We will be left with 3, right? So these are the counters we have. First we have a 5. My dear students, we have taken 1. We have taken 1. We will be left with 4. Now we have a 4. Now we will take away 1. We have crossed the 1. We will be left with 3. Now we have 3 and we take away 1. So we will be left with 2, right? 1 and 2. So now we will move towards the 2. We will be left with 2. 2 counters. We cross 1, we take away 1. We will be left with 1 counter. हमारे पास इसको हमने मिटा दिया तो हमारे पास क्या आ गया 1 and we have 1. We take away 1. हमने एक में से एक जो है वो निकाल दिया. We have taken away 1, so we will be left with 0. So if we cross the 1, तो हमारे पास क्या बचेगा? कुछ भी नहीं. So in the same way, like if you have a 5 rupees and you give 1 to your friend, how much you will be left? You will be left with 4. And if you, when you left with 4, your friend comes and you give 1 to the another, 1 rupee to another, you will be left with 3. Now you have a 3 rupees and your brother comes and you give your 1 rupee to your brother, you will be left with 2. Now you live with 2, so if you have a left with 2 and your sister comes and she asks you for money, you give your 1 rupees to your sister, you will be left with 1. Now you have 1 rupees and your friend comes again and asks for money, you will be like you take away 1 and you give your 1 rupee to your friend, so you will be left with 0. So that means you have distributed all the amount among your friends and family, so you will be left with 0. So this is how it goes. For example, we have a counter like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And we have a counter like this again. So 1, 2, 3. Again we have a counter like this. So क्या होगा हमारे पास? 1 and 2. We have a counter like this and 1. So let's see. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to take away 1 and we are going to draw the other side. We have a counter which shows that we have 4 spots over here. We take away 1. इसमें से 1 हमने निकाल ली, तो how much will be left behind? 1, 2, 3. Because हमने 1 को क्या कर दिया? माइनस कर दिया. तो यहाँ 4 की इसको 1 को माइनस कर दिया, तो we will be having 3. ठीक है? Then we have a 3. Take away 1. We will be left with 2. हम ये 3 थी, इसमें से हमने क्या किया? 2, 1 को निकाल के इसको निकाल दिया, तो how much we will be left? We will be left with 2. Now we have a 2 spots and we take away 1. So we will be left with 1. Like 1 को हम हाइड करते हैं, so हमारे पास क्या बचेगा? 1. Now we have 1 spot over here and we take away 1. So how much will have? We will be left with no spot. First हमारे पास क्या था? We have 4 spots. हमने एक को ये जो है वो एक इसको माइनस कर दिया. We will be left with 3. We take away 1, so we will be left with 3. We have 3 spots. We have taken away 1, so we will be left with 2. We have 2 spots. We have taken 1. We will be left with 1 spot. We have 1 spot. We have taken 1, so we will be left with no spot. That means कि हमने सारे जो है वो कर लिए. Now moving towards the other thing. For example, same way, 5. First we have taken away 1. Now we take away 2. Take away 2. 3. Take away 2. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 counters over here. If we take away 2, like हमने 2 उसमें से निकाल दिए, we will be left with 3. 1, 2, 3. We have 5, right? पहले हमारे पास क्या थे? 5 थे. We have taken away 2, so we will be left with 3. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 counters. Now we are going to take away 2. 2 हम ले लेंगे तो हमारे पास क्या बचेगा? 1 and 2. So we will be left with 2. If we have 4 and we have taken away 2, हमारे पास क्या बचेगा? 2. So there is 1, 2, 3. We have taken away 2. 1 is left. So we will be left with 1. We have 2 and we have taken away 2. So we will be left with 0. Okay. First 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have taken away 2. So कितने रह गए हमारे पास? 1, 2, 3. We will be left with 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 spot. 4 counters. We have taken away 2. So how much we will be left with? We will be left with 2. 1, 2, 3. We have 3 counters. We have taken away 2. So we will be left with 1. We have 1 and 2. We take away 2. We will be left with 0. So same is like we have a counter like this. It has 4 spots. We have take away 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 spots. We have take away 2. So how much? We have 4 spots. If we take away 2, like हम 2 निकाल देते हैं and we draw the another counter जो कि कुछ इस तरह था, so what would happen? We will be left with 2, right? हमने 2 को उसमें से take away कर दिया, यानी निकाल दिया. Now we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 spots on the counter. We take away 2. So what would be left with? हमने इनको 2 को जो है वो उसमें से बस निकाल दिया. So what will be left with? 1, 2 and 3. So we will be left with 3. So this is how it goes. So this is all about your chapter 8. It was about taking away. Taking away means that the amount you have or things you have, उसमें से आपने क्या करना है? कुछ चीज़ों को निकालना है. For example, we have a 4 buttons over here. We have taken away 1. So अगर हम इसके ऊपर क्रॉस कर लेते हैं, we hide it with our hand like this. So how much we will be left with? We will be left with 3. Like count 1, 2, 3. So same क्या होगा? 1 हमारे पास 3 आ जाएगा. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops over here. We have taken away 1. We have hide it with our hand. Now how much will be left? 1, 2, 3, 4. We will be left with 4. We have 3 cornettos. 1, 2, 3. We have taken away 1. So how much you see over here? 1 and so we will be left with 2. Now same is like we have 5 flowers and we have taken away 2. So we hide it with our hands. So how much you can see? 1, 2 and 3. You have 4 skirts like 1, 2, 3, 4 skirts over here. You take away 2. So how much you left with? You can see 1, 2. अगर आप 2 को क्रॉस कर देंगे तो आपके पीछे बचेगी 2. You have 3 basketball. You give 2 basketball to your friend. So how much you will be left with? 2 आपने दे दिए अपने दोस्त को. You will be left with 1. You have 2 tops as a toy. So you give your 2 tops to your sister. How much you will be left with? You will be left with 0. So if you have 1 cornetto and your friend asks you to have a cornetto, तो क्या करेगा? आप उससे क्या करेंगे? एक cornetto दे देंगे तो you will be left with 0. So this is all about taking away. That means कि आपके पास जो amount है, आप उसमें से 1 रुपया या 2 रुपये जब निकालते हैं तो आपके पास पीछे जो अमाउंट बचती है, that is fewer in number. That means कि वो पहले वाली जो अमाउंट थी, ओरिजिनल अमाउंट, उससे कम है. So I hope you enjoyed your lecture. I hope you learned it and you will learn it by heart and just practice it at your home. Thank you so much. अपना ख्याल रखिएगा. अल्लाह.